it's been a while since I put out a video. I'm sorry. Still figuring stuff out. You know, you have to be consistent in this thing, and I haven't been. So I'm probably gonna start putting out 1 or 2 videos a week. Probably midweek, most likely, and then on my off day, which is a Saturday. Try to be very consistent about those things. Here coming up, especially since free agency is coming about next week. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about, like the Scouting Combine. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Scouting Combine because Scouting Combine, man, when they talk on Scouting Combine, woo, wait, that Joker was nice. Very nice. They say a lot of sports analysts and draft analysts says this year there's not a lot of deep quarterbacks in this year's draft. I beg to differ. And one of the guys that I really want to talk about is Desmond Riddle. Rinder? Riddle. One of the two. I'm not sure. Hopefully I don't pronounce his name. All right. Desmond Rinder from Cincinnati. I think he's going to be a steal. I think he's going to be a steal. I think he's going to be a steal. Whoever draft, if he goes to a good quarterback, a good system where he's able to grow, maybe sit a year, I think he's gonna set the world on fire. He's gonna shock a lot of people once he gets to the NFL. And because he looked good. He looked really good at the Scouting Combine. And I looked at the quarterbacks and receivers. I looked at that. I also got a couple of glimpses at a lot of the other days, but I primarily pay attention to day one. But yes, man, that guy looked so good. I mean, also Kenny Pickett, man, the guy, I know he has small hands. He say like eight and like a quarter, something like that. Something like that. He got 8-inch hands, essentially. But the man could throw. He looks like the most polished passer coming out this year's draft. Now, we didn't get a chance to see Matt Corral, so we'll have to tune into his pro day to see how he throws the ball and see how he, how he's healing from his injury. But I was impressed by how deep these guys are. And I think they got a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones. Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral. Malik Willis is interesting to me. I'm not sure if I'm too sold just yet, but I like what I see. Because he has an arm. He's mobile. And if he gets to a system that's going to allow him to do what he do best, kind of like Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, I think that's like, if you could get with a coach that's going to allow you to and tailor the offense to what you do best like that, I think he's going to be something special to watch. But man, but Desmond Ritter is really poke out because nobody's talking about him in the first round. Him or Sam Howell. I saw this. Sam Howell got powerful arm. Maybe it's the system. Maybe it was the system in North Carolina, or maybe it's him. I'm not sure, but he looks solid. He'll take a couple of years to grow, but once again, I thought he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. Sam Howell from North Carolina. So, but we're going to see. But also, these receivers. Now, listen. These receivers are getting ridiculous. Very ridiculous. Because these guys, not only are they fast, but these guys are starting to catch the ball with their hands. And most people know what I'm talking about, like hand catching. Like Larry Fitzgerald just catches the ball with his hands and not like with his chest or with his shoulder pads. I mean, I know sometimes it's called for that, but these guys were out there hand catches, like Chris Carter, one of the best to ever do it. So these receivers are looking more and more polished coming out of college. And the main two that, of course, that really stood out for me was the two guys from Ohio State, Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. Man, I wish Alabama two receivers, Jameis didn't get hurt, and where's the other guy? Jameson and the other receiver from Alabama didn't get hurt because I would love to see them guys play. Well, run their 40s and just put on display. Because honestly, I don't think Georgia would have had a chance if those two guys had played in the national championship. Man, listen, I don't know if Georgia win the national championship this past year if those two guys are on the field. Mechie, that's his name, Mechie. If those two guys are on the field, I don't think Georgia win. Georgia had a great D line, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. But them two, I would love to see them run routes and catch because those guys are studs. And I looked at a lot of Bama games this past year. And them guys, crisp route runners, and they can catch. Straight catch. So, but man, the receiver group is deep this year. They're very, very deep and very talented. So some people are probably going to wait to go. A lot of teams are probably going to wait to go a little deep to draft a receiver, knowing that they could probably catch one of these guys in the second round. But who stood out to me, honestly, was three guys: Jordan Davis, Trevon Walker, the two D linemen from Georgia, and Desmond Rennie. Man, listen, I knew that Jordan Davis was fast. You could see his explosiveness. If you looked at any of his film throughout the whole year, you could clearly see this guy is explosive and he can run. But this guy, this man, is about 6'4", pushing about 400 pounds, man. And he runs a 4.840. 4.840. And he didn't clumsily run it. His takeoff was perfect. He just booyah. People was like, oh man, I didn't expect him to run. I said, man, you could tell if you look at film, you could tell the guy simply has a great takeoff. He was dominant in the national championship game. Straight dominant. Period. Trayvon Walker, solid. I mean, he is the forgotten guy that not everybody will talk about. But he was solid. He had a great combine too. He's one of those. I think he's a borderline first rounder, and second round. He's gonna be taken within the first 2 days, the first two rounds. So I'm excited about those guys. But Desmond Rennie is gonna go back. He's probably gonna be a day two. He's probably gonna be not day two. Well, he'll be a day two, or well, I guess day two is actually the second and third round. So he'll be a second and third round draft choice. Somebody's gonna pick him up within their chance because I know I'm not the only person that actually saw this, man. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna set the world on fire once his pro day come around. Because the guy is actually solid. There's no way you win for you. I want to say he won 44 games in his college career. You don't win that many games by being average or even above average. You got to be a winner. You got to be able to make throws. And man, the guy is a stud. So I'm excited to see where you go. Maybe Indianapolis. Hey, Indianapolis don't have a first round pick. Indianapolis don't have maybe Desmond Rennie. Yeah. Him and Sam Ellinger could compete. Maybe bring in a veteran to see, what it's like to test the two young bucks. Man, I wouldn't mind seeing him in Indianapolis. It could be a thought. But anyway, that's it for today. I just want to talk about the combine for right now in this video. I'm gonna post a lot more videos. I got about a couple more videos. So I got about a couple more videos. I got like about 2 or 3 videos that I'm gonna talk about. My next video is pretty sure gonna be about my girl, Caitlin Clark, and how I'm so. She's the next best thing that's gonna come to the NBA. Now she's a sophomore, so she got 1 more year. I think she got 1 more year before she could declare for the draft out of the WNBA. Me, I said out of the WNBA for the WNBA. So we're gonna talk about her in the next video and how she's just setting the world on fire. And I just, man, people talk about the debate between her and Paige Buckner, and man, listen, nothing against Paige, but I've been on Caitlin Clark since she was a freshman. So, but yeah, that's next video. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe and like. You have a good one.